This is MJ. I'm an author, I'm an artist, I'm an analyzer. Find all my work at mjmunoz.com. Henshin Inspection presents Writer Tears. I will be discussing the bad and good of Kamen Rider Geats Episode 4 and what is the root of failure. Kamen Rider Geats Episode 4 Encounter 3 Victory Conditions originally aired September 25th, 2022. The writer is Yuya Takahashi. The director is Teruaki Sugihara. So I'm going to start with the bad, as I'm wont to do. The ruse of the zombie execution fake-out to pass off Magnum from Dapan to Buffa made no sense to me. There were a lot of flashbacks, there were a lot of cuts, there was a lot of back and forth, and it made no sense. And when they revealed what it was for, it made even less sense. I thought, did they just want to have a Henshin sequence in the beginning of this to keep it exciting for the kids, or what? And I don't know. I don't know if that's the case or not, but I did not like it. Neon really thinks true love will save her from, like, her unloving, overbearing, bird in a golden cage mother? How is that? If it is making her mom's love true love, like her mom has fake love right now, that would make sense, because what we see from her mom is a warped or untrue love at play, and it's sick. I don't know if her dad's around or not, but it's rooted in, I guess she got kidnapped as a little girl and they ransomed her, the kidnappers, and the Kurama family paid for it in order to get their little girl back. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna be super brutal right now. Okay, you ready? If you can't have children, I understand not having children, but there's an old saying that you should have 4 children. I heard this is from Winston Churchill, but I don't know if that's true or not. I heard you should have 1 for mother, 1 for father, 1 for accidents, and 1 for posterity. So that's a 4-child minimum, and the truth is, the truth is y'all had the line to do it. Sorry. Sea Rays Walls, check them out. Year of the Beast. It's a cool album. Anyway, the truth is that we used to live in a much harsher world, or we live in a much softer, much more gentle world than we used to, and child death was a reality, and people, if they could, would by default have more than 1 child just in case. Not that having 1 child replaces another, but it's just kind of an interesting observation that, if Neon was one of a few kids, would this have been the way her parents reacted, and would she be under this weird regime of authoritarian fake love, where being loved by your mother means that she puts GPS trackers on you and has a couple of guys who used to work for Maximilian Pegasus come after you and bring you in anytime you're too far from home. And that's really weird. That's bad. It's a bad thing. But yeah, maybe she's looking for true love, not so she can have a man to rescue her and help her escape, a la Chie from Persona 4. Oh no, I guess that was Yukiko. Was it? Yeah, that was Yukiko. Sorry. Which is where the bird in the golden cage analogy came from. But anyway, yeah. I just think it's a warped sense of love, and maybe she wants that familial love to be true as opposed to sick and twisted, which I can kind of appreciate, and I kind of like the nuance to that, and I kind of like that it sounds like she's interested in romantic love, and maybe she doesn't really know what she's interested in, and were she to get her wish, we would see it transform. I don't know, but that's part of the bad, but it's interesting. It's not something I hate, it's just interesting, and it presents a lot of questions. But moving on to the good, because we don't have a lot of time here. And that's true for all of us. Every day, wake up and remember, you don't have a lot of time. Anyway, moving on to the good stuff. The mask is slipping on Ace. We are seeing glimpses of him caring, though he tries, or he hides it when he can. Which is a little bit endearing, a little bit irritating. But especially at the end there, after, I guess, not Buffa Boy, but after Dapan II was erased or taken out of the game, Ace was like kind of staring down, making a fit, balling up a fist, kind of lifting it up like he wanted to look at it, like, no, this game, this unjust game of thrones. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, moving on. So Naga's use of boost was so great. The speed it moved her at when it was on her legs was cool, but the rocket hammer was even better, and I just thought it was also dope, and I really dug it. So that's like, yes, please keep boost shifting around. I want to see who else gets to use it, because that's really cool. Next, the effect of Ace using Zombie Claw to lock all the enemies in place was neat from a special effects perspective. They only really showed one Zombie Claw at a time, and it was the left hand, just like he has the left hand, and used editing and framing and maybe some CGI to show all the other zombies being held fast by it. I honestly, by the time they panned out to show the giant hammer assault, I was not paying attention to the Zombie Claw to see if it was still attached to the feet of all the zombies, but they were all anchored in place, and I knew it was supposed to be because of the Zombie Claw. Even if I couldn't see it, I still believed it was there. So that was pretty cool. Okay, a couple questions. One, how many rounds of games are there going to be in the DGP? Giving each game 2 episodes, which is feasible, I think. If we only need 5 more games to get to the last rider and the winner, that could be as few as 10 more episodes, and that's supposed to be, that'd be a total of 14, which is not 6 months at all. 6 months would be 6 times 4, 24, and the DGP is supposed to be 24 months, or about 6 months. So I don't know, are they going to give us 2 rounds of DGP in this, and we'll have a new cast take over while a couple of key winner characters from this, I'm assuming Ace, Tycoon, and Neon, stick around and persist till the end, and probably Buffa too, because you gotta have the sour guy. The sour guy has to stick around and be grumpy for everybody. But yeah, I'd be curious as to see, like, is that what they're going for? Are they gonna make that bold of a choice and have Gates have like a second season, so to speak? Geats. These names. Anyway, so I think that could be kind of interesting. I mean, it would definitely be interesting. It'd be a bold choice. I'd like to see them make that. Oh, I guess that was really my only question, because, yeah, that was really my only question. So, I will stop there and move on to the next part of the show. Alright, so my score for Geats Episode 4 is an 8 out of 10. I would have liked to see a little more gameplay. We spent a lot of time getting a look at Neon's personal life, and while it helped me to buy into her arc, I think it could have been sleeker and faster. Her big win in the game, and out of it afterwards, was exciting to see. I love that line too. Here comes the final boss. Anyway, Ace, Keiwa, and Neon make a neat trio, and I am happy to see them working together while knowing I'm likely being set up for heartache as the game eliminates them, and they have to fight against each other. Swapping around gears is a blast, and I love seeing Nago use boost. It was a visual delight. I want to talk about this question, though. What is the root of failure? And young Mr. Dapan, whose name I don't remember, and whose name I'm going to forget, because he's gone, and he ain't coming back, as far as I understand. He is a failure because he refused to keep going and to keep fighting. And they never got so corny as to have anyone say, never give up, never surrender, or anything like that. And even Ace, I thought he was going to say something about how, in life, the only way to win is to keep fighting and to keep playing. And, that's how it is in the Desire Grand Prix. That's how it is in the Desire Grand Prix. And that's how it also is in life. Wink, wink at the audience, stare at the screen. But they didn't do that. He just said that you have to keep playing if you want to win. And there's always another chance to get out of the situation if you just keep pushing forward and trying to find a way. And I totally agree with that philosophy. I think it's very nice. I think it's kind of beautiful. And I would say that the root of failure is that lack of trying. It's I wouldn't say it's apathy necessarily, but it's definitely, failure starts when you have a defeated attitude. When you act like a failure, when you think you're a failure, then you are a failure, because the failure, woe is me mindset, the victim mindset, will never get you the victory that you want. It doesn't matter if you're trying to be a podcaster. It doesn't matter if you're trying to be an artist, if you're trying to, become a bodybuilder, lift weights, be an athlete or whatever. If your attitude is that it's already lost and there's nothing that you can do to change things, then I think that's what your mind will be set at. Your focus determines your reality, as a wise man once said. And as another wise man once said, your brain is the most sophisticated computer in the world. And when you start something by saying, I can't, that you're telling your brain not to think about ways that you can. And that when you come up to a situation where you want to do something and you're not sure how to do it, you can instead say, how can I? And your brain will be working. How can I accomplish this thing that is very difficult that I want to accomplish? Your brain will work on that, and things will hit you. You'll notice stuff in life, whatever happens as you're going about your day, in the background, that, program is running, figure out how to do this. And when a solution presents itself to you, it'll hit you like lightning, and you'll be able to seize upon it and take, even if it's one baby step towards your goal, you'll be able to do that. But you can't get there if you don't keep trying. I thought it was like, it's still like a thin character motivation and whatever for this guy to be evil, Dapan, but I, and I don't like it, but I like the fact that, he was useful in some ways, because he, reminds everybody that this is a game of death. It's a game where they will be eliminated one by one, and that they'll all face death. And while that's true, the logic is so unclear, but maybe this guy's warped, or maybe he has other problems that are stopping him from seeing the truth, that if you play to win and you are able to win, even by the skin of your teeth, that's still a victory, and you can get out of this game, or at least get to the next stage of it, which is this setting up some sort of dynamic of, like, there is failure and there's success, and only some people can have failure or success and everybody else is a failure, or something like that. I don't know if that's where they're going with it, but I think it's important that they had this dichotomy between these characters, and I really think it's important that the person who was saying that everything is lost and you'll die and whatever, so don't even fight, is one of the first people to be eliminated, because you can't, had he had that attitude and persisted through the show, that would have been really irritating, because I just don't see how they do that. I feel like there are characters who are like that, and anyway, I feel like there are characters who are like that. Now I'm thinking of Gru from Angel, the Gru Slug. He kept fighting and he kept winning, and defeating enemies, and he became a champion because he wanted to die, but he could find nobody who could kill him in a noble bout of combat, and he became this amazing, like I said, champion and warrior. That's kind of funny. But yeah, it's a little bit of an irritating arc that, like, yeah, everything's bad, we should all die, and then you don't die. For a character in a show, like, well, no, you should go, so the people who actually want to fight to win can stay here and make an impact on things, instead of having you be a spoiler throughout the whole thing. So anyway, I don't know. It's an interesting, something interesting is being done with him, even if I feel like the structure of him as a character is a little weak. But overall, I think he exposes what the root of failure is, and it's not trying. It's not trying. Like I put on the thumbnail, you miss every shot you don't take. So if you want to do something, you got to take a shot and see if it works. And the thing is that you can learn from your failures. Of course, not if it's a death elimination game like this, but I mean, I was going to say that's not what life is. Ultimately, life is a death elimination game, because we will all die one day. But until then, as long as you can keep doing something, then you still have a chance to make it better and to make what you want to happen. And anyway, I find that encouraging, even though it's a little bleak and it's framed in a kind of counter way through this death game. It's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. So anyway, I am going to go ahead and get out of here. Please check out the Don Rose 30 analysis and the Futo PI episode 9 analysis that are up over at mjwinners.com, and also check out Superhero Time, superheroti.me, which is where it's a new tokusatsu fan website. I'm a contributor over there. I've done the Futo PI9 review, and I did the Kamen Rider Geats episode 3 review. And anyway, check it out. There's my text reviews there, as well as text reviews from a bunch of other Toku fans and Toku commenters and whatever you want to call us, as well as there's cosplayers. There's just there's a whole spectrum of if you're in the Tokusatsu fandom. I'm not into certain things. I'm not really into cosplay. I think it's neat that people do it, but I'm not really interested in it. But there are people there who are interested in it, and they're going to be talking about it. I don't collect any toys, but there are people talking about toys there, and they're talking about spoilers for the currently ongoing shows, and they're just doing a whole lot of stuff over there to be a place for people to come together to talk about all the stuff that we love in Tokusatsu, especially the big three: Ultraman, Kamen Rider, and Super Sentai. So check that out. There's a lot of fun to be had there, and I think you'll enjoy going over there. Also, stay tuned to me, to mjmunoz.com, and I will keep you updated on excuse me, I will keep you updated on my Tokusatsu inspired children's picture book series, which starts off with a book very much inspired by none other than the King of the Monsters himself, the original classic story of Godzilla. So there's a little monster fighting in there, monster on monster action, which isn't in the original Godzilla, but the way I put it, I think it's very true to the original Godzilla, and I'm even giving a chance to redeem the Godzilla type character to have them go on and fight other monsters, which that's not how the original Godzilla ends at all. I wouldn't blame you for not knowing that, because you would think just like, oh, I guess something happened with Godzilla, he went away and then he came back to help people, because that's what he does now for some reason, even though he was a bad guy at first. Anyway, super interesting the way stuff works with Godzilla. And actually, one of the fellow contributors to Superhero Time is going to give me links to some interesting writings and pieces on how Godzilla was transformed from this tragic figure, I wouldn't say villain, but tragic figure, to a heroic figure, because I think that's interesting, and that doesn't really make sense given the context of the original Godzilla movie. Anyway, but like I said, this is how I think about Tokusatsu, and this is how I think about these characters, and this is the kind of stuff I'm like filtering and contracting into something that is kid-friendly and tells a fun, interesting story with action and adventure and kids getting scared and overcoming things, all in my own little special Toku-inspired world. So yeah, check that out. Like I said, I'll keep you posted on that, and I will let you know as soon as that is available, or as soon as I start crowdfunding or whatever I'm going to do to get these books launched and out into the world, because I believe in this dream of being an author, and I don't necessarily want to write children's books, but these things came to me, and I want to get them out there into the world finally. And it's hard work, and it's been a long time, and it's something I'm going to keep working on, because if I don't, I'll never make it happen. And anyway, please God, you'll be getting good news from me on these soon, and these will be a mega hit, and I'll be able to do even more Tokusatsu analysis, as well as my own original art and fiction, because that's what I really love to do. Anyway, this is MJ. I leave you with peace and blessings. I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, you can find more at mjmunoz.com, as well as my entire library of analysis, art, and fiction.